Angela, what's up?
So I have several questions.
I have several answers.
Awesome.
Now, Spike, come on.
So my first question is, I think you've said this before, but what is your maximum number of properties you want with one property manager?
One third of your portfolio is basically what it comes down to, but usually that number's around 10.
Okay.
Limit my exposure to any one company to around 10.
Gotcha. So I basically need to get more properties, but with another property manager.
Correct.
Okay. So the second question is a little outside of the box. I have some opportunities and I'm trying to figure out how to utilize them. I don't know if the correct term is co-hosting, but I have I have a girlfriend who is, she builds ADUs.
Okay.
Here in San Diego. And part of her pipeline is helping her clients rent out the ADUs. And she was like, oh, well, why don't I just pass them to you?
Okay.
And I'm like, great, but I'm not sure. So in my head, I was like, okay, this could either be additional dwelling unit. San Diego has a lot of them because we're short on housing. So we've given, the government has given specialties for building additional property space on the actual property ground. So my thought is I could either do rental arbitrage, but she does about 300 of these a year. Not that I would take all 300, but it seems like there might be a potential for, I guess, maybe like a co-hosting model where the owner, I'm involved in the process early enough where I can advise the owner what to purchase and how to set up the units. And then my company manages, obviously, the short-term rental operations. So my question is, what's your thought on that? Do you have any advice? Do you see any holes?
What's my thought? No. Do I have any advice? Yes. Are there any holes? Plenty. So one of the this is the easiest hole. While yes, I'm aware of what is said and how it's all worded inside of Airbnb, the system, here's the hole. The major concern that I have is, could you be guilty of operating as a property manager without a real estate license? My answer is yes. I think you could be. I think there's at least a case if a realtor got mad at you, could they turn you in? The answer is yes. And that is a class 5 felony. That's a problem for me. So therefore, I've got many other reasons to say no, but I figured I'd just jump to that one. And then secondly, behind that, it's about choosing the headache that you want to deal with. Because I think it was you who wanted to do something out of state and had some challenges with the whole furniture thing, or maybe that was someone else. I don't know. All y'all occasionally get creative in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
And here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, you can do it, but you shouldn't. It sounds like an opportunity, and yes, to a degree it is. But what you will discover is that there are things that you now know and understand and have conviction behind that, you know what, I am not running one of these without this, and this, and I am only willing to run them this, and this way. And you will be in the position of having to have multiple monthly frequent conversations about all of those things. Why did you buy that TV? This TV is $30 cheaper. Why did you buy that couch? We don't need a designer. And you know what? We don't need an accent wall. Accent walls, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. In fact, my cousin can paint a wall, and I'm not up for dealing with that. Period. Which is one of all of those reasons, all three of those, the felony, dealing with the extra misunderstanding, and just trying to make my life simple is why we prefer the lease, because the lease is clean, it's clear. They get what they want, you get what you need, everybody happy. Now, I understand that, yes, you're like, but I can get them to kind of share in the cost of the building the darn, furniture and all that other stuff out. And I hear you, and I'm saying it's not worth it. I'm saying there's other ways to get that handled than to take on what essentially becomes that annoying boyfriend that you can't figure out how to dump because you feel guilty, but you should have done it 4 months ago. You know what I'm talking about? I know. Come on, you don't.
I got you. I hear you. It was my annoyance of why I left my previous job of project management. Is that I heard cats and I have no control.
And that's what you don't want. You don't want to introduce that unknown, uncontrollable in that sense. And especially when they have the leverage, because they have the leverage. When you have the lease, you have the leverage. You have more leverage than not. So it's like, I hear you, but no. I like you on this side of the jail cell. This is better.
So if I was to pursue this opportunity, your obvious advocacy is for leasing them.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, why would you not lease all 300? Because I was confused when you said that.
Well, you know why, because I have a limiting belief of how much capital I can obtain at this moment.
Give them to me. I'll take it. See, now you don't want it to, because I just hit that competitive little nature in there. You're like, well,
we can work something out.
Exactly. So see, that's all it's
doing. Let's split them.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm ready. Let's do it.
But that's my point. So yes, you're like, I'll figure it out because I'm gonna beat you. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, all of us are gonna run into opportunities that are larger than what you might be able to do on your own. And this is another reason why you can come here and know that you're dealing with individuals who are following the same practices. Because again, that's work now you don't have to do, because you know and you understand exactly how this is going down. But so that I was like serious too. So, hey, I would love another 20 or so. That would be great, especially given what's coming the rest of this year and down in San Diego. That'd be great. So there's under no circumstance should you be thinking I can't handle 300. You might not know how to handle 300, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean it can't be done.
Gotcha. Okay, last question. So I did something that I know I probably shouldn't have done. So getting that out the way.
Awesome. Can you teach my kids to start with that? Because that would be so great. Anyway.
I learned at a very young age, because I also learned I'm going to do what I want to do,
Right. Right? Okay, go for it. But at least now you're wiser. You're like, Dad, I now know why you said not to do this. But here's what happened. Yeah.
Right. So obviously, a friend wanted me to help them start their short-term rental journey.
Okay.
And my property manager has excess properties. I'm holding right now, acquiring more. So I basically gifted her 2 properties. But I am on the lease, so they are under my name. And the question is, do I have to put my company's name on the insurance, or can she put her name on the insurance and she still be able to make a claim if something happens?
Wow.
I didn't mean to make your head hurt.
Yeah, because okay, so we got to run then. Who's the landlord?
The owner, the property owner, hires a property manager who I have the relationship with to get new leases.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Double check with the attorney, and I don't have a template for this because I am totally making it up right now. But what I think, because this is going to now be similar to really the asset-light model of how it would work with a hotel. Yeah, okay, that's it. So what's going to happen is you're going to come up with a JV agreement that authorizes your friend's company to do the operations. Okay. Their insurance is going to cover themselves, you, and the landlord. And then you're going to get a separate policy that covers you and the landlord. Yes. And as a part of that JV agreement, there needs to be an accounting for how specifically rent is being paid and done and handled in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Okay. And I think that would solve most of the issues that come to my mind and give them the proper authority should ever they need to prove something with like the police or the fire department. And now it does not address any concerns necessarily with your landlord or what they may think about it, but it at least should protect you and give them what they need at the same time. And yes, never do this again, please.
Basically, they get insurance on the property.
Everybody's getting insurance.
I get insurance on the property too.
Yeah, because here's what you've got in the case of a potential whatever, the attorney's suing everybody, which is why you need to be named on their insurance. If your landlord gets upset, they're suing you, which is why you need your policy as well. So it's like, okay, does that make sense? Because your contract is with your landlord. That's what I'm thinking through here is your contract is with your landlord. Because I'm assuming what's happening is that your friend's entity is going to be furnishing the place, running the place, and all this other stuff. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, that's the challenge. That's what's going on there.